Well, welcome back. If getting rid of depression, unexplained weight gain, and sleepless nights are always on your wish list, but Santa just can't seem to deliver, you might want to make an appointment with our next guest. He has truly made it the most wonderful time of the year for so many patients who are misdiagnosed or simply medicated to deal with their symptoms. Turns out the problem was as simple as a hormone imbalance. Joining us with the role hormones play in our body and how a balance can help turn back the hands of time, please welcome Dr. Richard LeConey with the Institute of Anti-Aging, along with his patient, Marilyn Barber. Good morning. All right, Marilyn, I'm going to start with you because you're going to rattle off a list of symptoms that so many people, including me, can say check, 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 check. So what were those symptoms?
That's right. Well, for me, I could not either go to sleep or stay asleep. And
right, you'd be so tired when you go to bed because you haven't slept the night before.
Right.
But yet when we went to sleep, you couldn't stay. Yeah.
Right. And it continues. And you just feel kind of sluggish. Your groove is not what it used to be. And I tried all these supplements. Nothing was working. And one day I picked up this little magazine with all these symptoms, and I thought, that's me. Yeah. I need some help.
Yeah, yeah. Aching joints, all kinds of things. Now, Dr. LeConey, a lot of us will say, because a lot of times it happens around middle age, and we say, oh, this is what my mother said. You just wait one day. When, yeah, the young people are nodding their heads. You don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, we think it's just simple aging.
They will, yes.
Yeah, and it is part of simple aging, but explain what's happening in our bodies that we don't have to deal with.
It actually starts before menopause, although some women, have an easy approach to menopause. But for some women, the imbalance starts in that 40-something era, whereas menopause is going to be another 10 years off, where they're having trouble with their periods, trouble sleeping, moodiness, just don't feel right. You know, as Marilyn said, they just don't feel like they've lost their groove. Sense of well-being is another way we describe that. But a lot of it has to do with sleep, to be honest with you. And of course, you definitely won't feel right if your menstrual cycle is all chaotic.
Yeah.
And so,
it's chaotic because there's probably a hormone imbalance.
Yeah. It is hormone imbalance.
Okay, I got to tell you, I had about 5 friends. We all kind of hit that middle age at the same time, and they were all going to have hysterectomies. But I remember talking to you about that, and you said, well, before we go to that, 'cause that's a drastic step.
Right.
Let's take a look at what's happening. If you correct the problem, you won't need that hysterectomy, just like you won't need the antidepressants if you correct what's making you depressed in this case, right? All those different things.
100%.
Yeah, you're nodding your head.
That's right, absolutely. And this is the estrogen cream that I use daily, and it's a little click, and I put it on my arm, and I rub it in, and that's all it takes. I'm good to go.
Yeah, and there you go. And for me, it was thyroid and a little bit of progesterone. But explain what hormones do in our body, because I think when we started really talking about this a few years ago, people were like, well, do I need hormones? It's like, you have them. And when they start to diminish is when you notice that there's a problem.
Right. Well, your regulation of certain hormones, and for women, the hormones of progesterone, estrogen, these are the hormones that your ovaries make. And as you get older, that balance starts to tip.
Yeah.
Frequently, the first thing that happens is progesterone begins to decline. And that can actually happen long before menopause. Yeah. And that's what gives rise to the poor sleep, poor moods, irritability, crankiness, migraines, even arrhythmias and things like that. So getting that progesterone adjusted for that, the approach to menopause, which can be 10 years or 5 or 2. And then after menopause, you just bring in a little of the estrogen, like Marilyn just demonstrated.
So you don't have to go crashing into menopause. You can glide through menopause.
Absolutely.
The way we do it, it's a nice, gentle approach.
Yeah, and what we know from research is, of course, when you have imbalanced hormones, that opens the door for all kinds of other problems. I know for me, and I never get sick. I kept getting little colds and things, and you asked me, okay, so are you starting to get things that you never did before? I'm like, yes, because it also impacts your immune system.
Immune system, and don't forget thyroid is a part of it. Now Marilyn doesn't have any thyroid issue, but thyroid problems also go along with menopause, or at least that era.
And mine happened after I had my son.
Right, exactly.
All right, so the thing is that not only do we feel better when we have our hormones balanced, but we can look better too, because it really impacts every organ of our body, including our skin.
Your skin is dramatic. Almost every textbook of dermatology will have a section in there on hormone and effects on the skin, and they will show you that.
We're looking at your before and after right here, Marilyn.
That's a great.
No, that's not scary. But you actually look tired on the left.
I was.
Yeah. And then on the right, just pumped up things. You have your spirit back and the whole bit. Okay, so here's the deal. How do we find out if we're low in certain hormones? Because you've heard this over and over again, and I know for me, for the first few years that I kept going to doctors, they kept saying, you're within a range. You're within the range. We don't see anything wrong. But I felt all kinds of wrong. I had no energy. energy, just like you. I'd fall asleep at stoplights. I've said this many times.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was bad. You didn't want to be behind me honking, all right? But and then when I tried to go to sleep at night, I couldn't sleep through the night. I was miserable. Friends looked at me and said, "What is wrong with you? Something is wrong."
Yeah, right. And you can determine these by simple blood tests. It has to be done at the right time in your cycle and things like that. But blood tests will tell the story. Now, interpretation of the blood tests is where the crux of
and
the
this is something
matter is.
you've been doing for quite some time. So you have a different take on it, and if you can fix it holistically, fix it safely, fix it with what your body naturally does, then your body responds to it better.
And it tells you exactly what you need. This is compounded to exactly what I need, which is different than what you need.
It's boutique. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. But I have it compounded. It's like what was right for me.
Well, I like to make the comparison between, it's a custom-made piece of clothing as opposed to something you buy off the rack.
Yeah. All right.
Well, it's custom tailored.
Like the supplements I kept buying and buying and buying that didn't help me.
Yeah, didn't do anything.
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Here's to feeling better and looking better. The Institute of Anti-Aging has a special offer going on right now. You can get 20% off any procedure when you call and mention Great Day Houston. And when we say any procedure, they do all kinds of things. Hormone testing, but they also do Botox, fillers, lasers, and more. The number is 713-807-1000, 713-807-1000. For more information, you can also log on to antiageinstitute.com.